Hey guys, behind me, DSW. It's a great shoe store that a lot of you have in your town. There you can find some solid shoes. I mean, you're not going to find anything over, say, $200 typically, but you've got a good selection of that mid-range, mid to low-range shoes. You've got fashion sneakers, you've got dress shoes, you've got boots. Pretty much you name it, you can find it there. Now, here's the deal. I got an email from one of our members who is worried about his feet looking like sausages. He's looking for a new pair of fashion sneakers and he doesn't really know where to go. And he's a little bit concerned because he has size 12 feet and he's only about 5'9" or 5'10", and he feels that it's a little bit big and awkward looking. Funny story before I go into Mr. Sausage Foot here. I was working with a client and we were going shopping and I'm like, hey, I was pulling shoes for him. I'm like, what size shoe do you wear? He goes, 10 and a half is my height. I'm like, really? Okay. You know, big feet. So I get them and I give them to him and I put them on. I go, well, how do they feel? He goes, okay. And so I see him walking and he is like flipping out of these things. I said to him, I said, hey, wait a second, those shoes are gigantic on you. He goes, well, I know, I buy him 3 sizes too big. He's wearing like a 7.5 normally. I buy him 3 sizes too big so that my feet look bigger because I'm worried about my feet looking too small and really small feet having some type of psychological disadvantage in the corporate world. I was like, yo, seriously? I said, I don't care. If you're on my watch, you can buy whatever size shoe you want when you're on your own. But today we're going to find you shoes that actually fit. It turns out he wasn't in a 7.5. He was actually in an 8.5, which is perfectly reasonable for a guy who's 5'7", 5'8", whatever. I mean, that's fine. Got him in these shoes. They ended up fitting. He was like, oh my gosh, I don't think I'm even going to get blisters from these. I'm like, dude, really? This is what I'm dealing with, people. But anyway, back to our question, sausage feet, fashion sneakers. You just need to worry about finding a sneaker that is a little bit more streamlined, a little bit longer in the toe box. I know that it's going to give the illusion, or you're going to feel like it's giving the illusion of your foot being extra long. But what happens is the bigger, bulkier sneakers or the bigger, bulkier shoes are actually making your foot appear bigger. The more streamlined, the more slender shoe are actually going to be better for you. The other thing that I would do is probably steer away from white if you're worried about your feet looking too big. White makes your feet look big, black makes your foot look small, or a dark color. Dark blue, dark gray. There are a lot of options other than white. White is probably the last color that I would pick if I was worried about my feet looking big. I don't, because I wear an 8.5 in dress shoe, a 9 in sneakers. I never really thought about my feet looking too small. Anyway, guys, shoes. If you're worried about your foot size, there are ways to minimize or maximize the illusion and the perception of your feet. So I wouldn't sweat it though. I'm probably 99% sure that you're the only one that thinks your feet look too big. Most of the people looking at you would probably not even notice. But this just goes to show and point out that we are our own worst critic.